My beloved one, do you feel that shiver running through your heart right now? It's because what you are about to open was not meant for the crowd, not for strangers, not even for your friends. What's happening right now is personal, so personal it's almost unbelievable. This message was blocked again and again, like something unseen tried to keep it away from you. But heaven has a way of moving what cannot be moved by human hands. And today the wall finally cracked, not for everyone, for you. Lean in, my dear, because this isn't a random moment in your day. This is a divine appointment that found you on purpose. God said, "Let my child's eyes fall upon these words now, don't let them miss it again." And if you feel tears rising, or your chest feels tight, don't push it down. That's your spirit recognizing a voice it has been waiting for. Before we go deeper, let me speak to your heart like a friend who cares about your peace. If you feel pulled here, if your heartbeat changed the moment you started reading, subscribe right now. Not out of pressure, but out of protection. And if this is already touching you, tap like, so this reaches another woman who's been praying in silence. Now listen closely. Archangel Michael stands beside you right now. Not with anger toward people, but with strength against the darkness that try to confuse you, delay you, and drain your hope. You've carried unanswered questions, you've held silent prayers in your mouth until they almost disappeared. You've had nights where sleep didn't fully come, and mornings where you forced yourself to smile. And if nobody else understood, heaven did. This is why this message feels different. It isn't just words, it feels like a hand on your shoulder. A gentle reminder that you're not alone. You are not invisible, you are not too old, too late, or too far gone. You are still chosen. And what follows isn't ordinary, it's like a stream of healing, moving through sentences, reaching the places you don't show anyone. Can you feel that warmth in your skin, that little tremble in your hands, that soft pressure in your chest? That's the signal. That's heaven letting you know, you're in the right place, at the right time. Archangel Michael says, tell them to read every word, don't blink, don't miss it. Every paragraph carries their deliverance. This is only the beginning. Now let me ask you something gently. Have you ever wondered why certain things in your life felt delayed? Why the same door stayed closed, even when you did your best? Sweetheart, it wasn't because heaven forgot you. It was because God was aligning the clock of eternity with the timing of your soul. Some things weren't happening because you weren't ready to carry them yet. And that doesn't mean you were weak, it means you were being guarded. This message was sealed and protected until the moment it could reach you safely. That's why you feel both shaky and relieved. It's like standing in front of a door you've been dreaming about, and realizing it's finally unlocked. Archangel Michael says, step through, beloved, don't hesitate. And I need you to hear this clearly. The darkness tried multiple times to block this truth from reaching you. But the command of God shattered that grip. Now it rests right where it belongs, before your eyes, inside your heart. This isn't just a message, it's a miracle disguised as a simple moment online. And yes, it carries your name. Do you feel the pulse in your chest? That rhythm is more than your heartbeat. It's the echo of heaven saying, you are seen. It's proof that your story matters, more than you thought. And if you've been asking, why me, why now? Heaven answers, because your life has weight. Because you kept going, when you had reasons to quit. God saw the tears you cried into your pillow, the worries you didn't share, the battles you fought quietly. And he told Michael, let this message reach them now. The waiting is over. So no, you don't need to fear being overlooked anymore. This moment proves, you are noticed, chosen, and loved, with a love that breaks chains. Now don't rush past this part, because not everything that was blocked in your life, was meant to harm you. Some delays were protection. Some silence was heaven shielding you, from pain you didn't deserve. But the season has shifted. The shield is lifting, and the gates are opening. Michael says, tell them they are free to walk forward, without chains, without fear, without hesitation. Tell them this word is the confirmation their soul has begged for. And beloved, your breakthrough is closer than you think. Closer than the breath you just took. That's why you couldn't scroll past. That's why something inside you said, stay. And if you know someone who has been carrying heavy emotions, share this with her. Sometimes the strongest women are the ones who cry in private. Think about the nights you almost gave up, the nights you stared at the ceiling, whispering prayers into the dark, wondering if anyone heard you. Remember how your chest felt heavy, how your eyes burned with tears you didn't let fall. Heaven remembers. And this message is God's way of saying, I heard every cry, I counted every tear. Not one moment of your pain was wasted. My dear, you are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are standing inside an answer that angels carried through fire to deliver. And Archangel Michael fought for this message to break through. Because the enemy understood what it could change in you. The fact that you are reading this is proof the enemy failed, and you are still standing. So listen carefully, because there is more. Don't let distraction steal this moment. God wanted you right here, eyes steady, heart open, ready. Because what unfolds next won't only answer questions, it will ignite miracles in your atmosphere. Michael says, tell them they are stepping into a chapter, written by heaven's hand, not man's. Tell them to prepare for blessings, to fall as suddenly as the rain. Beloved, this is not an ordinary season. The wind has shifted, the tide has turned, and the gentle spotlight of heaven is now resting on your life. That means peace will return, in ways you can't explain. My beloved child, there is a reason you are still here, reading these words. Something inside you knew, not to walk away, not to close this page, not to silence this moment. Because deep down, you're ready. And heaven knows it. My beloved child, if you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $10. That small voice in your spirit is not ordinary. It's the whisper of heaven, the kind that reaches you when life finally gets quiet enough to hear it. It's God drawing you closer, saying, don't miss what is meant for you. And beloved, the reason it feels so urgent is because timing is everything. And your timing is now. Right now, you're not just watching or reading. You're being guided. You've carried wounds no one saw, fought silent battles that drained you, and lived with questions that never got answers. But heaven was never ignoring you. Heaven was preparing you. And even though this message was blocked again and again, it still found its way through. Because God said, "It's time, let them see it, let them know they are chosen." My precious one, listen carefully, there is more. And this part matters. Don't let distraction steal what's meant to heal you. The enemy wanted you restless, scrolling, skipping, too tired to focus. But God wanted you seated right here, eyes steady, heart open. Because what unfolds next will not only answer questions, it will ignite miracles in your atmosphere. Michael says, "Tell them they are stepping into a chapter, written by heaven's hand, not man's. Tell them to prepare for blessings, to fall as suddenly as the rain." Here's how you know this is real: the season around you is changing. The wind has shifted, the tide has turned, and the divine spotlight of heaven is now shining on your life. That's why you're still here, because something inside you knew not to walk away, not to close this page, not to silence this moment. That inner pull is your spirit saying, "Stay, don't miss this." Child of light, imagine an angel holding a sealed letter, with your name written in gold. For days, weeks, even months, that angel kept trying to deliver it, but invisible walls kept rising up, to block the way. Those walls were not stronger than God, but they were battles for your focus, tests of your endurance. And every time the letter was stopped, heaven pressed harder, until finally today, the seal broke. And now, beloved, you're holding that letter, in the form of these words. That's why your heart feels heavy and light, at the same time. Now pause, and look back at your life, with new eyes. How many times did you escape something that should have destroyed you? How many times did you survive what should have broken you completely? You thought it was luck, coincidence, timing. But no, my beloved, heaven was covering you. You were preserved, for such a time as this. Because the message you are hearing now is not just words, it is prophecy for your spirit. Michael says, "Tell them this is their turning point." Tell them not to dismiss it as another piece of writing, but as the voice of God breaking into their world. And I'm here to echo that truth: this is your moment. Not someday, not after you fix everything, not when life gets easier. Right now. Beloved, God wants you to know, your pain had purpose. Nothing you lived through was wasted. The betrayals, the disappointments, the losses, they were shaping you. Carving you into someone who can carry the weight of the blessing that's coming. You thought doors were closing against you, but many were closing for you. Redirecting you away from what would have drained you. That's why this message had to be blocked 5 times. Because the moment you accept it, chains begin to break. Do you feel that warmth in your chest right now? That's freedom starting to unlock. That's peace beginning to pour. And this is only the beginning of what God is about to release in your life. If you can feel this deep in your spirit, take a second and subscribe, because staying connected keeps you aligned when heaven starts moving fast. And tap like, if this is speaking to you. So it reaches another woman, who's been praying in silence too. My child, let me tell you something that may shock you. There are blessings that have been circling above your life, for years, waiting for the right time to fall. Angels have been holding them, waiting for God's signal. And that signal has just been given. That is why Archangel Michael's presence feels so strong around you now. He is the protector of destinies, the warrior of heaven's army, and today he stands guard over your soul, ensuring nothing can stop what is meant for you. That's why this message feels alive, almost like it's breathing. Because it's not simply read, it's experienced. Every word carries power, every sentence pulls down a wall inside you, every paragraph is breaking barriers you didn't even know were still there. And do you know why the enemy fought so hard to block this? Because they knew the moment you read it, your eyes would open. They knew you would stop settling, stop shrinking, stop doubting your worth. Beloved, you are priceless to God. You were not created by accident. You were designed with intention. Your scars are not flaws, they are proof you survived. And now God says, I am about to turn survival into overflow. I am about to turn their mourning into dancing. I am about to turn their waiting into harvest. Beloved, receive this. Don't let it slip past you, like other moments did. My precious one, think of all the times you felt unseen. The moments your efforts went unnoticed, your love unreturned, your prayers unanswered. Those were the moments the enemy whispered, you are forgotten. But today heaven speaks louder. You are not forgotten. You are chosen, chosen for miracles, chosen for favor, chosen for breakthroughs, that will leave even your enemies speechless. And that is why you were drawn here. That is why your spirit refused to skip this message. Because God Himself ordained that you would see it. And once you truly accept that, your life will never feel the same again. Read it, and be transformed by it. Because this is not a message you consume and forget. This is a word you carry, and it changes how you breathe. Michael says, tell them the wait is over. Tell them they are stepping into fulfillment. And beloved, the more you stay with these words, the more the old chains begin to loosen. Feel it even right now, your chest feels a little freer, your shoulders feel a little lighter. That's not your imagination. That is heaven touching the heavy places in you. Truth has a way of washing through the soul, like clean water. And that's what is happening. God is pouring fresh strength into you. Strength to rise again, strength to hope again, strength to walk forward without fear, even if you've been afraid for a long time. You will look back on this moment, as the day everything began to shift. Because heaven has marked it. This message blocked again and again, has finally reached its rightful owner, you. And with it comes a release, that no power can take away. Beloved child, let your heart listen closely. Because these words are more than sound. They are spirit, they are life, your soul recognizes truth, when it hears it. And that's why you feel so stirred. This is not the voice of chance, not the voice of coincidence. This is the direct whisper of heaven, carried with the authority of Michael's sword of light. You've been wondering for too long why things felt delayed, why your steps were blocked, why prayers seemed unanswered. But beloved, it wasn't because you were denied. It was because you were being prepared. The moment had to be right, and today the moment has arrived. That's why your chest feels warm, that's why you can't look away. God Himself says, "Tell my child, it is now." Do you realize how extraordinary this is? This message was blocked 5 times, 5 times invisible walls rose up, to keep you from seeing what heaven wanted you to know. And that alone tells you how much power is carried inside these words. If it meant nothing, the enemy would not fight it. But it carries destiny, it carries breakthrough, it carries the key to chains you thought would never break. And now, after every delay, it is in your hands. Michael says, don't let this slip past. Drink in every word. This is for you, not for another. Child of God, your season of silence is over. And please hear this clearly, beloved one. God is not ashamed of you. He is not disappointed in you. He has not turned His face away from you. The truth is the opposite. He has been fighting for you, covering you, shielding you, even when you felt alone. There were accidents you never had, because His hand stopped them. There were betrayals you never saw, because He turned them away. There were nights you didn't lose yourself, because angels surrounded you. You are still here, because heaven refused to let go of you. That's why this message feels alive. It's not just ink, not pixels, not a screen. It is like a flame from the altar of God, burning with your name upon it. And my child, let me take you deeper. Every delay you faced was proof that something bigger was being stored for you. You thought you were behind, but you were being positioned. You thought others were winning, while you were waiting. But you were being refined. Michael says, tell them they are not late. Tell them they are right on time. Tell them the blessing has been building. And now it is ready. Think of a tree that takes years to root, before it produces fruit. That has been your journey. The rooting was hidden, but the fruit is inevitable. God has said, release it now. And heaven obeys. Precious soul, the tears you cried in silence, have not been forgotten. Each one has been collected, each one has been remembered. God Himself says, I saw, I never looked away. You cried thinking nobody heard, but now your very tears are being turned into rivers of blessing. Those nights full of questions are about to become mornings full of clarity. One day you will look back at your pain and call it preparation. Because what was stolen is being restored with double measure. And this is not a vague hope. This is a promise carved into eternity. Michael says, tell them to believe again. Tell them their faith will not end in shame. So if you feel your faith waking up, even a little, hold on to that. That small spark is enough for heaven to move. Do you feel the shift already? The air around you feels different, something inside your spirit has awakened. Something that was asleep too long. That is not an accident. It's because this message carries living breath. As you read, chains are snapping. As you listen, heaviness is lifting. As you continue, light is pouring in. Beloved, keep going. Don't skip even a line. Because every word is an arrow of light, piercing the dark places of your life. And if this is speaking to you, take a moment and subscribe, because you deserve to stay connected to what strengthens your spirit. And press like, if your heart feels seen. So this reaches another woman, who needs the same comfort tonight. Sometimes one message is the difference between giving up and holding on. God is saying, stay, listen, receive. You don't need to strive, you don't need to force anything, just open your heart, and heaven will do the rest. Beloved, you are not reading this alone. Even now, angels surround you. And Michael himself stands near, holding his sword of fire, ensuring this word is not stolen from you again. You may feel a warmth on your skin right now, or a gentle sense that someone is near. Beloved, that is not imagination. That is the nearness of heaven. That's why you can't just click away. That's why your heart feels gripped. Because heaven has entered your space. And you are sitting inside a holy moment. Crafted only for you. The question isn't whether you're chosen anymore. The proof is in your very breath. The real question is this: will you believe it, will you embrace it, will you walk forward with it? Child of promise, the shadows that chased you cannot follow you into this next chapter. Their hold is broken, their grip is shattered. Michael says, tell them the cycle ends here. The chains of yesterday do not hold them anymore. And God confirms, I am making all things new. Beloved, hear this with your whole heart. Your life will not remain the same. This moment is marked. You are stepping from waiting into receiving. From confusion into clarity. From silence into song. The heavens have shifted. And your name is written into that shift. If you feel something rising inside you, don't fight it. That's your spirit waking up, and recognizing it's finally your turn. Let me tell you something, the enemy never wanted you to know. You are stronger than you think. You survived storms meant to drown you, fires meant to burn you, battles meant to finish you. And yet here you are, still breathing, still standing, still listening. That is proof, your story is not over. God has invested too much in you, to let you go now. He is lifting you higher, opening doors no hand can shut. And placing blessings in your path, that no enemy can steal. Michael says, tell them to rise. Tell them to lift their head. Tell them their crown is waiting. And beloved, you weren't chosen just to survive. You were chosen to shine. The delay was never rejection, it was protection. The silence was never absence, it was preparation. And the message you hold now, is heaven's seal breaking open for you. So don't question it, don't doubt it, breathe it in, believe it, receive it. Because from this moment forward, your story bends toward miracles. Beloved, when heaven marks you, no shadow can erase that mark. That is why this message kept trying to reach you, again and again. Even when it was blocked. Think of a river being held back 5 times, yet the water keeps pushing, pressing, refusing to stop. Eventually the dam cracks, and when it does, the flood cannot be controlled. That is what is happening now. This word is a flood of blessing. Rushing toward you, and no barrier can hold it back anymore. Archangel Michael says, tell them the breakthrough has already begun. Tell them nothing can stop what God has written with fire in heaven. And beloved, it's true. Your life is about to feel an unstoppable flow of what was promised. If you feel hope returning, even a little, pause and tap like, because your simple action helps this message reach another woman who needs strength tonight. And subscribe if your spirit wants to stay connected to words that keep you steady. My precious one, every test you faced has been recorded, not one detail of your suffering went unseen. God has been watching, not with judgment but with compassion. The same hands that shaped the galaxies were holding you, even when you felt like you were slipping. That's why you survived, when you thought you couldn't. That's why you're still standing, after storms tried to break you. You were chosen to endure, because you were chosen to rise. Beloved, the season of enduring is giving way to the season of overflowing. Michael declares, tell them their waiting has reached its finish. The dawn has come. Child of destiny, think of those quiet battles, nights when your pillow carried your tears, days when your smile hid the ache, seasons when you prayed for answers, and only heard silence. Yet you remained. And that remaining wasn't weakness, it was strength. That strength reached heaven, and heaven responded. This message is God's reply to your endurance. He says, because you did not quit, because you still believed, even with trembling hands. I will now pour out blessings beyond measure. Do you feel that vibration in your spirit? That is confirmation. It's heaven saying, yes, this is for you. Beloved, the enemy always fights hardest when you are closest to breakthrough. That's why you faced strange blocks, sudden delays, unexpected walls. It wasn't because you were unworthy, it was because you were dangerous to the darkness. Your rising would mean freedom, not only for you, but for everyone connected to you. The enemy tried to stop this message, but God commanded, no more delay. Let it through. And that's why you're here now, reading with a heart that can't look away. Child of light, picture this, a table in heaven, set with treasures bearing your name. For years it has been waiting, covered, guarded, untouched. Every time you cried, heaven remembered. Every time you whispered, heaven recorded it. And now the covering is being lifted. The table is being revealed. And you are being invited to sit, to receive, to finally live, in what was prepared for you all along. Another piece was added, every time you endured, another jewel was placed. Every time you prayed, another blessing was prepared. That heavenly table is not empty, beloved, it is overflowing. And now God says, uncover it. Let them feast. This is what this season holds for you. You are not stepping into a drip of goodness, you are stepping into a flood. The blessings will not arrive small, they will arrive abundant. The favor will not crawl in slowly, it will come suddenly. And Michael stands as a guardian, to make sure it reaches your hands. Beloved one, your name has been spoken in heaven, more than you realize. Angels have whispered it in prayer, God has called it in love, and your own spirit has cried it in longing. Today those three voices meet. And that's why you feel this deep resonance inside, because heaven and your soul are finally agreeing. This alignment isn't by chance, it is divine orchestration. You are standing in the center of God's timing. And nothing is stronger than that. Do you feel your heart racing? That isn't fear, it's recognition. Your soul knows, this is your turning point. Michael says, tell them this is irreversible. Tell them no one can undo what God has begun. Precious child, you have walked through valleys, but the mountaintop is now in view. You have been pressed, but not crushed, struck down, but not destroyed. Because God preserved you, for this very announcement. This message is your declaration of victory. That's why it came late, that's why it fought through barriers. Because the timing had to be perfect, and beloved today is perfect. Can you sense the angels around you? Even if your eyes can't see them, your spirit can feel them. Their wings brush the atmosphere of your room, that warmth, that sudden peace, that lightness in your chest. Those are not random feelings, that is presence. Michael himself has drawn near, holding you under his protection, and whispering courage into your soul. He says, tell them I will not leave their side. Tell them every battle they face now, is my battle too. What comfort is greater than this, that heaven's warrior stands for you, never against you. Beloved, the next steps of your journey are not random. They are designed. Every connection, every opportunity, every shift, will line up with your destiny. Doors that were bolted, will swing open. People who ignored you, will finally recognize you. Paths that seemed blocked, will clear. And you won't have to force it, you won't have to beg for it. Heaven will arrange it. God is saying, rest, and watch me work. You don't need to chase what is already yours, you simply need to walk in trust, knowing Michael guards your way. And hear this clearly, this is not the end. It is the breathtaking beginning. You are not forgotten, you are not overlooked, you are not abandoned, you are chosen, treasured, guarded, and beloved beyond words. This message was blocked 5 times, but it still reached you. That alone is proof. Nothing can stop what God has prepared. Nothing can silence what heaven has declared. You are standing at the doorway of miracles. Step through, and do not look back. Beloved, lean closer, because heaven has been holding something in silence, for far too long. You have carried weight on your shoulders, that was never meant to be yours. Burdens that belonged to other people, fell onto you, and you carried them anyway, quietly, bravely, without complaint. But heaven says, no more. You are stepping into a season, where heaviness lifts, and the strength of God carries you instead. That's why these words feel like fresh air, entering your lungs. This isn't just encouragement, it's a decree. The chains of heaviness are breaking. You will walk lighter, freer, stronger, than you have in years. Archangel Michael whispers, "Tell them the time of carrying alone is finished. Tell them I stand beside them now." And beloved, if this is touching you right now, take a moment and subscribe, because you deserve to stay connected to messages that strengthen your spirit. And press like, if your heart feels seen, so this can reach another woman, who has been carrying too much by herself. Precious one, think of the prayers you whispered in the dark. How many times did you ask God, "Do you see me, do you hear me, do I even matter?" And heaven answers now, "Yes I saw, yes I heard, and yes you matter more than you know." This is not an accident, this is your answer. The message that was blocked 5 times arrived, because the Father wanted you to know beyond doubt that you are not forgotten. You are His, marked by love, shielded by grace, wrapped in favor. The world may overlook you, but heaven does not. Angels know your name, your prayers were never wasted. They became seeds planted in eternity, and today they begin to bloom. Beloved child, the struggles you faced were never signs of rejection, they were signs of calling. Only those chosen for greater destinies walk through such battles. Only those marked for bigger stories endure such storms. So do not mistake suffering as punishment, it was training. You were refined, shaped, prepared. And now the preparation is over. The release is here, beloved. And you can feel it, in the way your spirit won't settle back into fear. Michael says, "Tell them they have been forged in fire. And now they will shine like gold." One day you'll look back, on your hardest seasons, without shame, only gratitude. Because you will finally see, how every scar became a testimony, and every tear became a seed, that heaven refused to waste. My precious one, what is coming is not small. The blessings stored for you, are vast, personal, and timed. You will see sudden breakthroughs, in areas you thought were locked forever. Relationships will begin to soften, opportunities will show up, without you chasing them. Provision will flow, at the exact moment you need it. And it won't be coincidence, it will be heaven's orchestration. God has written this into your story. And that's why the enemy fought so hard, to keep this message from you. Because if you knew how close you were, you would never quit. But now you do know, you are close. So close, that heaven sent this word, to keep your heart steady, until the flood breaks open. And beloved, can you feel the nearness of angels right now? They have gathered around you, lifting your name into the halls of heaven. That's why your skin tingles, that's why your spirit feels lighter, that's why the air feels sacred. You are not imagining it, this is real. God has sent them as a sign, that you are protected, covered, and guided. Michael says, "Tell them no weapon formed against them will prosper. Tell them the arrows of the enemy fall harmless at their feet." So take courage, beloved. You are not walking blind anymore, you are walking guarded. And this message isn't only comfort, it's instruction. Don't fear the future, and don't cling to the past. Lift your head, and step forward. Opportunities are coming that will require your yes. People will appear who are sent by heaven to walk with you. And when they come, do not doubt, and do not overthink. God says, trust the doors I open. Walk through them with courage. You don't need to force your way, you only need to follow. Because heaven has already cleared the path. And hear this clearly, the hardest battles are behind you. And the most glorious victories are ahead. The silence you endured is about to break into song. Where there was confusion, there will be clarity. Where there was lack, there will be abundance. Where there was sorrow, there will be joy. This reversal isn't wishful thinking, it's heaven's promise. God says, I am turning their mourning into dancing. I am turning their ashes into beauty. And Michael confirms it begins now. So hold on, beloved, because the atmosphere around your life is shifting. You will see signs, you will feel change, and soon you will testify that this message wasn't just words, it was the beginning of your miracle. Beloved one, let this settle deep, you are loved more deeply than you can understand. You may see your flaws and failures, but God sees your heart, your endurance, your faith that refused to die. And He calls you beloved, chosen, treasured. Nothing you did has disqualified you, nothing you lost has ended your story, nothing you feared has cancelled your future. Michael says, tell them they are still worthy. Tell them they are still chosen. Tell them heaven has not changed its mind. So walk boldly now. You have no reason to fear. And let this sink into your soul, the message that fought through barriers to reach you is proof of your destiny. If heaven fought this hard to get this word to you, imagine how much more heaven will fight to fulfill every promise spoken over you. You are not abandoned, you are embraced. You are not invisible, you are celebrated. You are not ordinary, you are extraordinary. Crafted with intention, and lifted by grace. God says, let them know they are mine. And I will never let them go. And beloved, pause and notice, what is happening inside you right now. Do you feel the stirring in your chest, the warmth on your skin, the sense that these words are alive? That isn't coincidence, that is the Spirit of God, breathing through this message. Pouring back into you, what the enemy tried to steal. Every time this message was blocked, your miracle was delayed. But it was never denied. Heaven kept pushing it forward, and now it has reached you. That alone is a testimony. That you are unstoppable, when God is with you. Michael says, tell them the delay was not denial. Tell them the blessing is breaking forth. Beloved, this moment is holy ground. Child of destiny, remember the seasons, when everything felt silent. You prayed, but answers didn't come. You asked, but doors didn't open. You fought, but strength seemed to fail. And yet somehow, you held on. Do you see now, that holding on wasn't wasted? It was recorded. Every moment of endurance became a seed. Every tear became water, every prayer became light, and now those seeds are sprouting into miracles. What you thought was dead, was only buried. And buried things grow. What you thought was over, was only hidden, beloved. It wasn't the end, it was the pause before God moves. Resurrection is coming to your life. God says, what they thought was lost, I will return with increase. And when that increase arrives, it won't just replace what was taken. It will restore your dignity, your peace, and your joy. Heaven knows how many times you almost gave up. Nights when your spirit whispered, I can't do this anymore. Days when you smiled for everyone else, but inside you felt empty and tired. Yet you didn't quit. And because you didn't quit, heaven is rewarding you. This message is not only a promise, it is a delivery. The blessing is already in motion. Angels have been dispatched, doors are already unlocking, Michael stands beside you, to make sure nothing steals what is rightfully yours. Beloved, you are about to see proof, with your own eyes, that God never left you. My beloved, the shadows that haunted you, cannot hold you anymore. Their grip has been broken, their power has been stripped, and the fact that you're reading this, proves it. Do you understand, if they could have stopped you, you wouldn't be here right now. But you are here, so you are free. Michael says, tell them the cycle is finished. Tell them the curse is broken. Tell them they will rise higher than they dreamed. So believe it, receive it, this is the hour, heaven turns the page of your story. And a new chapter begins. Child of promise, you are not what happened to you. You are not the mistakes you made, you are not the rejection you faced, you are not the pain you endured, you are the beloved of God, chosen, sealed, and set apart. This message was sent, to remind you, of that truth. Do not let lies name you anymore. You are defined by heaven's love, covered by Michael's protection, and marked with the seal of destiny. God says, let them walk boldly. Let them no longer bow to shame. Let them see themselves, as I see them. Beloved, lift your head. You are crowned. And listen, precious one, what's coming will not trickle in quietly. It will flood in suddenly. You will look back, in a few months, and realize everything began shifting right here. The air around you will change, the heaviness will lift. Opportunities will multiply, miracles will surprise even you. People who doubted you, will stand in awe. Those who walked away, will see what God has done. And you will be able to say, it all began when I received that message. Michael says, tell them to expect acceleration. Tell them the wait is ending quickly. So prepare your heart, the flood is coming. Beloved child, heaven wants you to know, your voice matters, your prayers matter, your existence matters. You were called for more than survival, you were called to shine. You are a light, darkness cannot extinguish. And that is why the enemy fought you so fiercely. That is why this word was blocked. But now that you see it, truth cannot be hidden again. God says, tell them their voice will rise. Tell them their life will shine brighter than ever before. So embrace it, walk in it, DOA, not shrink back. You were created for this moment. And my beloved, do not fear what comes next. The same God who brought this word to you, will guide your every step. You don't need to know every detail, you only need to trust the one who does. He has already gone ahead of you, he has already prepared the way. And Michael will guard you, as you walk. This is not a path of confusion, it is a path of clarity. Not a path of fear, a path of peace. You will walk with confidence, because heaven walks with you. Let this settle deep in your heart, you are loved deeply, fiercely, endlessly. More than words can capture, more than you can understand. Nothing will change that, nothing will take that away. The message you hold is proof. Proof that you are not forgotten, proof that you are not abandoned, proof that you are the chosen child of a God who moves mountains, just to reach you. Beloved, let this love carry you, heal you, and lift you, into the destiny prepared for you, since the beginning of time. Have you noticed how your spirit refuses to let go of these words? That's because they are not ordinary. They are not just sentences, they are a lifeline, a rope of light, pulling you out of every pit you thought you were trapped in. That's why you feel weight lifting, even as you read. God designed these words to reach your heart, like water reaches dry ground. You've been thirsty for answers, desperate for signs, weary from waiting. And now heaven says, drink, my child. Be refreshed. The season of dryness is ending. Michael declares, tell them the well will not run dry again. And if this is touching your heart right now, take a moment and subscribe, so you stay connected to the messages that keep your spirit strong. And share this with another woman who has been holding on quietly. Because someone else needs this same reminder tonight. Precious soul, think of how many times you wondered if your story mattered. The world may have made you feel small, unimportant, replaceable. But hear me now, in heaven's eyes you are irreplaceable. Your life is written into eternity. Your breath is proof of divine intention, beloved. You were crafted by God Himself, not by accident, not as an afterthought. But with a purpose, so wide, and so deep, you can't fully see it yet. That is why you faced resistance. Greatness stirs opposition. But the resistance has failed. This message arriving now is evidence that your destiny cannot be blocked. Beloved, you are not small, you are chosen. And you need to know this truth, your future is not limited by your past. The mistakes you made do not disqualify you. The setbacks you endured do not define you. The failures you experienced do not finish you. God says, tell them I am bigger than their history. Tell them I am writing a new beginning. A fresh chapter has opened before you. And you are being invited to step into it without fear. Do not carry yesterday's shame into tomorrow's promise. Michael has already cut the ties of guilt and regret. The road ahead is clear. Walk it with courage. And beloved, the signs will appear soon. Watch closely, because they won't be ordinary. A sudden opportunity, where there was none. A conversation, that shifts everything. A door opening, that you thought was sealed forever. These are not coincidences, they are confirmations. Heaven will give you undeniable proof that this word is true. And when it happens, you will know beyond doubt. God remembered me. God never left me. Michael says, tell them to stay expectant. Tell them their miracle will not be hidden much longer. Precious one, what is coming, will not only touch you. It will flow through you. Your breakthrough will ripple outward, family will be lifted, friends will be blessed, even strangers will be touched by the overflow of what God pours into your life. That's why the fight was so intense. Because your rising means light for many. But the fight is ending. The blessing is coming. And nothing can stop it. Beloved, you are stepping into influence you never imagined. Favor you never expected. And joy you never thought possible. Child of light, do not fear the changes ahead. They may feel sudden, even overwhelming. But they are orchestrated by God. Trust the process, trust the timing, trust the hands that hold you. Every shift, every closed door, every open door, is working for your good. You may not see the full picture yet, but heaven does. God says, tell them they are safe in my plan. Tell them they will not miss what is meant for them. Beloved, rest in that assurance. You are being guided, step by step, moment by moment, into the fullness of your destiny. And if your heart feels comforted right now, take a moment and subscribe, because staying connected keeps your spirit steady as heaven moves. And share this with another woman who has been holding on quietly. This may be her lifeline too. My beloved, remember how many times you almost quit. How many times you whispered, I can't do this anymore. And yet here you are. Still standing, still breathing, still holding on. That isn't weakness, that is victory. That is proof of strength you didn't even know you had. Heaven applauds you, Michael honors your endurance. He says, tell them their persistence has unlocked heaven's storehouse. Tell them the reward is ready. Your perseverance was never in vain. You will see the harvest, you will taste the fruit, you will rejoice in what is coming. And precious one, let this truth anchor you, you are deeply, unconditionally, eternally loved. This love does not waver when you stumble, it does not fade when you doubt, it does not end when you fail. It is constant, fierce, everlasting. That is why heaven fought for this message to reach you. Because love refused to let you go another day without knowing how valuable you are. God says, tell them they are my beloved. Tell them nothing can separate them from my love. So soak in this love, let it heal the wounds you hide, let it lift the burdens you carry. Because beloved child, there is more ahead than you imagine. Dreams you buried will rise again, prayers you forgot will be answered, hopes you abandoned will return brighter. The season of loss is closing. The season of restoration is here. You will see it with your own eyes, you will feel it in your own heart, and you will testify that God has been faithful. Michael says, tell them the turnaround will be swift. Tell them joy will return suddenly. The tide is turning. And it will not turn back. And even as you continue listening, know this. You are not the same as when you began. Something has shifted. Chains have loosened, peace has entered, this is only the beginning. The fullness of the blessing will unfold, in the days ahead. Trust it, embrace it, believe it, because heaven has spoken. And the word cannot return empty. Beloved, this is your time, this is your miracle, this is your destiny, and even now, heaven is still speaking. You are standing in a moment that will mark you for years to come. The angels around you know the storms you survived. They know how many nights you begged for a sign. And beloved, this is that sign. This is that answer. This is that breakthrough, wrapped in words. That is why it could not be blocked anymore. Heaven said, it must reach them now. Michael says, tell them to hold fast. Tell them this is the day of divine confirmation. Precious soul, you may think your faith has been weak. But heaven calls it strong. Even when you doubted, even when you stumbled, even when you felt too tired to keep going, you still held on. That is faith, that is courage, that is strength. Do not measure yourself by perfection, measure yourself by perseverance. And beloved, you have persevered. God says, tell them their endurance has been seen. Tell them their faith has unlocked what was stored in heaven. The waiting is ending. The reward is near.